Hey, I'm Goose. I teach people how to make money online and build apps. And today I'm going to talk to you about why I don't think you want it bad enough. And hopefully you can prove me wrong. So, I'm going to start by showing you something, and it may take a minute, but it's going to require a story as well. Welcome to the bus, the thing that I've been building for the last 3 months or more. So not too long ago, it was a couple years back, I won the Skool games. And upon winning, all of the proceeds that I got from it, I spent immediately on gear that I gave away for free to other Skool games winners. I also spent some of it on the mansion, which was for all the Skool games winners who were coming and attending in the days that we weren't there with all the school leadership. We could spend time with each other. We ended up all going and getting these tattoos together. It was incredible. I was very glad that I spent it, and in fact, a lot of them paid it back, and I recouped most of it. But the point was, since joining the platform, which is a community platform, that was the first thing I did. Won the Skool games, spent all of my money on doing something that made sense, that I was passionate about. I was like, no, we're gonna get these people together, we're gonna do it right. Then I proceeded to go to the event, play a bunch of music, do stuff so it was more fun and more human, and the school leadership, Sam Ovens in particular, was like, you're good at fun, let's do this, and I started hosting Skool games for the rest of that year. It was exhausting. At the end of it, I decided to do a world tour, which was like, because it came out of the question, what would be crazier, what could you do that was crazier than hosting the Skool games? And my answer was, well, I guess the craziest thing you could do is host a world tour, meaning, at that time we only had about 20, maybe 19 million users, 18. And I mean, it's still a good number, but like we've grown a lot since then. And so I was like, yeah, I think there's a space for IRL. I think it's going to really significantly start being a big deal in the world. So let's make it happen. And so I started pioneering what that would look like. Man, I blew so much money on the first few events trying to figure out how it worked, but eventually I got down a system and it was easily replicable. You could see in the videos, you could ask me the questions. I was like, yeah, here's how you do it. And it got the ball rolling. It was so much fun. I visited 56 cities that year, ended in Antarctica. But the point was, I spent my own money on that. So yet again, everything, like all of the success from before, like I spent it all on the Skool games event and making it better, and then got hired by Skool, then hosted the Skool games, then spent all of my proceeds during that time. I was like, okay, let's do something crazier on the world tour. Did that for a year, hit the 56 cities, spent all of my money. It ended up costing, all of my extra was like exactly, it exactly cost me a quarter mil. And so from there, I was like, what could I do that would be even crazier? And the conclusion was, well, there's plenty of other things like going to space and doing a world tour by boat, but what if we did 50 states, well, 48, but on a bus, right? School, bus, kind of makes sense. So I had been talking to leadership for a while. What we determined was that what would be the most powerful would be for it to be demonstrated from a community owner standpoint. So making it possible from community, using community to power the thing, which would mean that I would have to monetize it from my communities. At the same time, I had, like during that year, I had a couple of betrayals that happened. Like they were strong. We'll get into those in another story. But it ended up making it so that since I was focusing on this in the last, well, I guess it's been about 5 months so far, I have had the ability to make some final decisions. And those decisions were, when I start, like this takes my time every day. I need to be a part of it. That's part of the deal, is I need to prove that it works from the builder standpoint and from the community standpoint. So I'm in until the thing's built. And my conclusion on it was, I can probably make this happen in time to launch, which is in a month, but I would have to stop running the company. I would have to stop being involved in all that stuff, which is easier said than done because I built all of this. And, at the end of last year, we were making about 60 to 80K MRR. And that was good. Since that point, we've made a couple of pivots, and now I'm making just enough to take care of this. And this has all of my attention, meaning we have now slipped under 10K MRR. Get that, right? A drop of 50K MRR in just a few months from a bunch of happenings, some intentional, some unintentional, but here we are. And that gives me the ability now to be kind of what I was romanticizing with my team earlier on, which was, what if we could be the underdogs? Because we weren't for a while. When you have a network of Alex Hormozy and Sam Ovens, not to mention Andrew Kirby and all the rest of these guys, like these are the dudes behind the thing. And there's lots of other, all of the Skool Games winners. I can hit them up or contact them at any time. And a lot of them would love to do an IRL with the bus or something like that. Like that's a really powerful network that I've gained. And a lot of it was because I would gamble everything every single time. So here we are, yet again. But this time I'm doing it a little bit differently. I'm documenting the whole thing. So if you look on my Skool profile right now, you'll notice there's no more money earning one. There's no more star. There's no more fire. I kind of tried to keep it, but ultimately it was like too much gear shifting for me. So recently I was like, I think I'm okay being at peace, letting that go. So it means that the emojis, which I designed with Sam in the office 2 years ago, I now have none of them. And it's a little bit freeing. Now, from the outside looking in, you'll see there's less money, there's less focus on Skool, the platform, and like online, and it can feel a bit daunting, and certainly it does. But I don't know if I would change it. In fact, I kind of like it like this. I enjoy that every time before I've had to gamble and risk it all in order to get to the next chapter. And that next chapter always ended up somehow being even greater and more significant than the one previous. And yet I couldn't have pointed out why that would have been the case. In retrospect, though, it would end up making sense. So here we are. Lost all emojis, but halfway through a bus. And you'll also notice I'm the only one on this bus right now. I had a helper today, a member of the community, but it often doesn't happen that way. Even my team has other things going on. I have this parked at my father's house where I'm constantly, which I don't know if you like hanging out with your family from time to time, but I struggle with it, and I always have. I'm in LA. I left LA when I was 18 to go travel the world. Cruel twist of fate. Skool's based in LA, so I came back after winning the games to work with Sam on Skool for that year, and then world tour. So I got out again. Like I've been nomadic for like 8 years, and so here I am back in LA again, staying at my dad's spot because he's got a driveway big enough and it's next to HQ, and it's decent weather, but it's tough. And every day, whether I film it or don't film it, although I do record and have these conversations, and I do try and film so that we can use it all later on, I wake up and first thing in the morning I do is like, sometimes I even forget the food. I come downstairs and I jump onto this bus and I just start working at it. I just start going for it. And right now it's, 11:30 p.m., something like that. I'm about to step off of this bus. Other than pissing and drinking water, I have a bubbly over here. Drinking some water. I actually emptied this one, right? So now I have this one, a little sparkling water. Other than those things, I don't really go and do anything else. And I'm glad that my team's able to have their own life. And I'm sure soon I'll be glad for how much it's cost me in order to be at this point. But it is tough. And the reason why I'm doing it all this way is because I've done this before many times. And I just gave you a couple examples of them. And I want to point out that it's possible. Not by telling you it's possible, but by showing you. That's what did it for me, and so that's what I'm going to do for you. There was this guy that I saw, I don't know, last 6 months or 8 months or a year, something. He was on social media, and what he had done was gain about 200 plus pounds so that he could show everybody how easy it was to get back fit again, and that's what he did. He went backwards so that he could show everyone and take them with him as he went forwards. And I thought to myself at the time, like, wow, what dedication, tenacity, and willpower. That's just miraculous. And yet, I think I'm capable of it too. And so here we are. The safest thing I could have done was to not build an IRL vehicle and put all my eggs in this basket. It would have been probably to stop doing the world tour or even never do the world tour in general. People with my network and contacts, 100% of them that are not me, that I know, just do the regular thing, which is build the business, make the sales, do the webinar online. And it works. They make a lot of money. I'm weird. And I don't think I want to spend any more of my life doing something that doesn't very close to directly feed the things that I want to do, which is having a direct hand in the creation of community around the world. And my vision might not always be understood from the outside looking in, but will always be understood retroactively. I have a very strong intuition, and it's always right about these things. Because I don't make the decision. It just kind of like springs up out of me, and then I do what I can to put them together. That part's not as important, though, as making sure that when you have an inclination for what you're trying to do, what you want to achieve in the world, you fucking do it, and you sacrifice, at least I do, every little ounce of what I possibly can in order to see that thing happen. And here we are. In the darkness at 11:30 p.m. with all the stuff on paper falling apart, and I'm exhausted. I am definitely going to have to shower today. There are some days that I miss it. And yet I don't think in a deeper way I could be happier. I'm going to be very happy when this is all done too. But this process is what's going to make me appreciate it so much. Like as I look around this bus, I've cleaned it recently since we started putting everything up. I installed these lights. The power right now is being run by solar. Solar power was has been going into these batteries, and these batteries over here. And now it's running. And in fact, now I have this breaker, which you don't, they're hot, so we don't touch them right now. But right now it's powering the lights. And I have it shut off for the outlets because I've been powering all these outlets. And so this is the last demonstration I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you something that I have been doing today. In fact, I have done, let me tell you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I've done 16 of these. I'm going to show you what it is, because I want you to get my point. And if you stuck around until this point, well then there's probably something that you can get from this. Let me show you. I need to grab this, wire cutters. I've had to, am I passionate about being an electrician? Not necessarily. However, I've had to in order to get to where I am. On the bus, I mean. So here are the tools I need. I got this cool little fancy knife from online that helps me with this. So this is, I'm going to break this down for you, okay? You don't need to know any of this information, but I'm going to show you what I need to know in order to get this thing done. And this is just one little snapshot so that for those of you that have stuck around, you can be like, wow, okay, you're right. I see what you're saying. And likely you're going to resonate with this because there is something of equal difficulty outside of a discipline that you love doing that you're going to be like, well, I guess even though I'm alone right now in the moment, I'm not alone in pursuing the thing and sacrificing really hard for the thing I'm looking for. And in this case, for me, I've got to take this anchor wire, which is 12 gauge. It means it's reasonably thick. And use this because it's a bus. So this is marine grade, meaning it can take a lot of shaking, right? Standard copper wire for a residential, that won't work. So what I have to do is expose these 3 wires. By exposing these wires, what it does, give me a sec. Okay. By exposing these 3 wires, what I'm able to do now is separate the neutral from the hot. This is the well, these are both powered to the ground. All right. And then what I have to do from there is take these wire cutters and take them in each about 1 centimeter. Okay, there's 1. There's 2. There's 3. All right, I got 1 cable. Now, I've already prepared this other one here for you. So this is there. Imagine I've just duplicated that. I just had to do that again. And then I'm going to now take this box, which I've punched out 2 holes there. It's an outlet box. And what I have to do is string this in here, like that. And I string this one in here like this. Now I told you I already prepared this one on the right-hand side. So what I'm going to do is prepare this one on the left-hand side. Oh, something went wrong, as it often will. So let me move that a bit. Okay, it's going to be difficult. So I have to set it down here for just a second in order to find 3 more pieces. What I need to find are 3, I think they're called ferrules. I'm actually not sure. I think they're ferrules. So these, I just learned about these recently. This is called a crimper. It attaches these little buggers right here to wires, to stranded wires. These are the anchor ones that I'm talking about right now. So instead of 1 copper wire to many smaller ones, so I have to, like I told you I already prepared this one. Now I have to do it here. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. Basically, I twist these around. And I have to put these on, just like this. Uh-oh, I fucked it up a little bit. You have to make sure you get every wire in there, because if you have one that's on the outside, you'll get a loss of efficiency that will create heat. And if you have that heat happening in your walls, it can start a fire. So I have to be careful to do it. Oh, see, this one's ruined. That one won't work. Darn. I have to use a new one. Yeah, so it'll start a fire if you don't have all of them all together. So here's the crimper. What I'm going to do is on this metal part, squeeze it real tight. Okay, there's 1. Now I'm going to do it here. There's 2, and now I need 1 more, because that other one didn't work for me. Oh. Okay. Here's the last one. We'll put it here on this neutral. Make sure everything's in there so we're not starting any fires while we drive. Which, by the way, I figured out the engine today, which is exposed down here, has a little bit of a leak, an exhaust leak, which I will have to fix. Okay, so here we go. Now, for this outlet box, which, by the way, is coming all the way from the battery, from this side. So this will be the side that's heating it. I have the breaker shut off, so there's not power. It's not live right now. But it's going to come in here, and then it's going to power the box. Let me find, I already took one out. I'll use this one. Okay, so the box, which is this right here. And then, once this is powered, I have to have it go into this power line in order to power the next one. It's one long line of outlets. So that means if one of them gets disconnected, as you might guess, the other ones down the line won't work, and I need them to work, so I got to do it properly. So now I need to get a little unit over here. This is a screw. It's a little square screw that helps undo the outlet corners. Now, bear with me here. This is going somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to take these. In order for the wires to go in, I have to loosen it, but not so much that it falls out, which just about fell out. Come on. Man, it is dark outside. And you hear some really wild noises out there. We've got coyotes, owls, some bird that screams. God, I hope it's a bird. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it's back in. Okay, that's out a little bit. All right, now, I wanted to take it out just enough so I had some wiggle room. What I'm gonna do is I have to put hot, neutral, and grounding here. The challenge is that I have to do it with both of them simultaneously. So I'm gonna need to use this knife to give myself a little bit of a runway, like this, in order that I can have these kind of splay out. I'll do the same thing here. I have to be careful not to cut the cables themselves, just the sheath that they're in. So we're going to take this first one. I'm going to shake it so this little piece gives me enough room to put these in here. And voila. We now have it in there. This is the grounding side. So grounding is so that if there's a surge, as I understand it, I'm learning it all at the same time. Hopefully you can see what the fuck I'm doing. If there is a surge, I am able to have this power go through into the ground and not break all of my stuff on the bus. However, we're also in the sky. We're on top of tires, so we can't actually ground it. The best we can do is have it go into the chassis itself. So it's not exactly doing the same thing that we'd like it to do. Electricity and lightning naturally chase ground, so if you have it plugged into the ground, you will be safer. That's what lightning rods and stuff are for. So, okay, we're gonna put hot in here, and we're gonna do the same thing for this one. Oh, wrong side. Okay, so here's the hot one. Yeah, all right. Wow, first try on that one. That does not always happen. So let's hope that all of them stay in while I am getting ready to put in the neutrals on their side. So I have to shake it so the space opens up and then put both neutrals in. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's see if I can get it. Holy crap, that's got to be the fastest I've ever done this. Give it a quick tug. It looks like, all right, so now I have two cables, neutral, grounding, and hot in here, which means this should be powered the next time I turn on the breaker. Now that it's all set, I have to pull these things back out so that this can be screwed into the box. Now, I'm not going to screw it in right now because I am going to have to put screws in the side so it can be mounted to the wood or the metal or wherever I'm going to put it. I haven't decided quite yet. And so my job is pretty much just to get this thing smushed in there. So I'm going to put a bit of a screw. Come on. Come on. Ah. Right here. Just so it stays. And now I have the wire that will be powering it going straight into the next one, meaning I can tuck this over here and have it available to charge up top. And then I can have this one go to the next, which will probably be this one. Right? Okay, now that was actually fairly quick. It might have been the fastest one that I've done. But today, I've had to research through trial, error, and YouTube videos 16 of those little bastards. That makes 17. So, these over here that go underneath the seats, up the wall, across the ceiling, down this ceiling, over here to where I am now. And I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, more to go. Why did I take the time to show you all of this, right? You don't have to know any of this stuff. And so I may put in the video, hey, speed to this part if you want to get the gist of the video. And that part is this. If you skip the previous part, what I was showing you was what I had to learn in order to get here. And in order to get to this point, I've had to become a diesel mechanic, an electrician. I will need to be a plumber. I had to become a painter. And I've had help for a lot of these parts. But I have been the only one consistently here, making sure resources are thrown to whatever source needs to either teach me or help me do the thing. Otherwise, it's me doing them. And of course, woodworking. I've had to do all of them. And there will be many more professions that I'll have to step into in order to complete this thing. The reason why I share all of this is because this is the sacrifice that I'm not all that unfamiliar with. I need to do in order to make the crazy things that I want to have happen in the world possible. A bus that can travel all 48 states and visit schoolers all around the world and talk about community and how to grow those things? Yes, I would rather have that in spades than anything else. And if it costs me things that I would like but aren't necessary, that's okay. I still have, more than anything else, an incredible network of very powerful and influential people. And they seem to like this kind of stuff. They like it a lot because it's something that they can't necessarily do. And they're able to do things that I can't necessarily do. And when I say can't, I mean we don't choose to do them because we can choose to do whatever we want. I'm sharing all of this because whatever you have in your life that you want to see happen, prepare to sacrifice a lot because that's what it's going to take. You're going to be taken advantage of. People will lie and cheat along the way in order to take things from you so that they can put it in their pile instead of yours, especially partners. But that's okay. Stay optimistic, stay safe, and stay very headstrong and resilient. You better love what you're doing because you're going to be doing it so much that if you don't love it, it's going to fucking wreck you. And I will tell you, there are some days I'm out here by myself until midnight or later just going, what the fuck am I even doing with my life? It happens. And that's part of the journey too. So I hope that's helpful. You're going to do a lot of stuff along the way to the journey of getting what you want. But if you really, really want it, you'll be able to put in what you need to in order to make it happen. All right. Love you dudes. Good luck out there. Have fun, make friends, and I will see you next time.